Okay, so this video is just to give you an indication of how you could use the event log viewer in Windows to give you some clues to what caused your blue screen of death. Now, some of you might not know what a blue screen of death is, but most of you probably will, otherwise you wouldn't be looking at this. Here's one I made earlier. This is a typical blue screen. It gives you some indication here as to what the problem was, what file caused it, and so on. Normally this would be a driver of some description. Here we've got a stop code, and using information from here you could probably do a Google on these things and you might get some information. You might find what the problem was. Now that's fine, but if you have auto reboot on your Windows system, which is the default, normally that blue screen would just flash up and disappear, and the system would reboot, so you wouldn't get a chance to see it. So using your event logs in Windows, you can go and look at that information when the system reboots. I'll just show you here. If we go to Control Panel, System Security, Administrative Tools, Event Viewer. Okay, now there's a number of events relating to applications and so on. The ones we're interested in are the Windows logs system. Now you've got information logs here, which are pretty boring, not of much interest. So what we can do is filter the log to give us the critical errors. Now here we have no critical errors. I haven't had a blue screen on this system yet. So what I will do is cause a blue screen programmatically, which can be done using this program here. Now this is a program used by developers to force blue screens when they're testing their drivers and so on. So what I can do here is force this blue screen, and well, I'll reboot and we'll see what we will see later. Okay. Right, so the system's rebooted. What I'll do now is just log in as normal. There's a screen prior to this, after a blue screen, following a blue screen, that would give you options as to what you'd like to do. One of those would be to start in safe mode, another would be to start normally. Now if it's the first time you've seen the blue screen, then just start the system normally, which I'm doing now. And once we're in, we can go and look at the event log. Now it's worth pointing out that 9 times out of 10 a blue screen would be caused by the last piece of software that you installed, which installs drivers normally, and it's normally badly behaved drivers that cause these blue screens. So what you would do on that occasion would be to uninstall that piece of software, and if things look okay, things are stable, then you can say, right, let's maybe replace that piece of software with an alternative thing, and hopefully things will settle down and be fine. Other causes would be hardware problems, which might be just a badly seated card, which you can fix by just pushing the card back in again, well, obviously when the machine's turned off, and again, if that fixes your problem, all well and good. However, looking at these event logs, which we'll do again here now, so we just go to the Control Panel, System Security, Administrative Tools, Event Viewer. Okay, to Windows logs system. Here we've got those boring information messages or logs there. Filter the log. It's the critical logs we'd be interested in, and there we see it. Now if we look at the details here, it doesn't tell us too much in the way of English, but we can see here a keyword parameter here. Now this is the so-called stop code from the blue screen. So what we can do is copy and paste that into Google, and this may give us some indication as to what's our problem is. Here we see a thread relating to this stop code. Now on this occasion for us it's not really very interesting because it was an artificially generated blue screen, so that's not going to be of much use. What we can do is look at blue screen of death stop codes. Now here we can see a list of these stop codes. Now the one we're interested in was 2. Now if you see here the stop codes listed, we don't use the leading 8, it's just the trailing bit of it that we're interested in. So if we look at this list, we can see that stop code 2 relates to device queue, not busy. Okay, so I mean that doesn't in this case tell us very much, but obviously what you would do is take your stop code and look down this list, and you might find something that's useful. So for instance, memory initialization fail, that might point to a hardware problem in your memory. You can do some testing on your memory, and that might give you a lead. Okay, so there's your stop codes and your event log viewer, which is a useful thing to know. What we'll do next time is look at system checkpoints and restore points, which is kind of a follow-on from this bit of information, where your fix doesn't work, where you've sort of uninstalled your software and you still get your blue screen of deaths. It may be worth doing a system restore from a previous system checkpoint. So we'll look at that next time. Okay, cheers.